Hello everybody and welcome to Slay the Spire, playing as the Silent on Ascension 5, hopefully a heart run. Remove a card from your deck, probably too soon. Max HP plus or minus for a rare colorless choice. Rare colorless choice I suppose is good. We could get Master of Strategy, Apotheosis, Hand of Greed, even Thinking Ahead. Alright, so let's see. We got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. So 3 this way and 3 this way. Early burning elite's not so great. 1, 2, 3 early hallway fights into a campfire into an elite. That's the perfect start, so let's go ahead and sacrifice some of that max HP. Alright, and we did indeed get offered 2 of the better ones. I think I'm going to go with Apotheosis. We start off with a big deck which not only supports Apotheosis, but kind of like puts us out of reach of if fatal cards. Let's see, I can afford to play this because this blocks almost everything. If we were to take an if fatal card, though, Hand of Greed is one of the better ones just because it doesn't exhaust and it's just plain a hard hitter for what it does. Now that said, Silent tends to prefer lower cost things, more nimble. But that's not to say we wouldn't have happily taken the Hand of Greed. I just personally would prefer the floor 0 Apotheosis. Alright, we'll keep that going. 2 points shy of lethal, so we'll block what we can. Get him down. Okay, so maybe it's not too soon to decide how to pull a card. Maybe we should pull a defend. There we go. Quick slash, hits hard, draws a card, therefore replacing itself, justifying its own inclusion. We get the upper. I am praying. You heard my prayers. Heed my prayers. Lather, rinse, repeat. Okay, so let's weaken that. We don't have enough block, but maybe we can find Survivor. Okay, I did not. So, take 2 damage. But at least we got to pop both of their curl-ups. Okay, can't really afford to play Apotheosis here. Normally I wouldn't advocate defending against 1 extra damage, but this 1 strike's not going to make a difference here, and they both attack twice, so I don't think either one's going to be attacking. So let's just full block here since we've been taking some damage, and really let them have it next turn. I could see this going both ways, actually. Because weakened once or weakened twice, really no difference. If we Apotheosis, we can't strike this turn, and it would take 1, and under the effects of weak 2, 3 strikes to kill them. Whereas if I just strike here, kill it now, and then we're weak, it again takes 3 strikes, but also neutralize could work. So let's do this, even though it's not a full use of our energy, and it doesn't get to play Apotheosis. Yep, we got the 3 attacks. Good. None of these are attacks, but the acrobatics could help us find the Apotheosis sooner. Or, since we've had a few situations where we needed attacks or defends. Okay, well, with the quick slash we have lethal here. And then we can neutralize this and almost have full block. It's a shame the card draw wasn't Survivor, but 1 damage to simplify the equation for the rest of the fight. Seems pretty good. There's the survivor, and that's exactly full block, so we can continue to kill him. Give me my rewards! And with the quick slashes, bigger damage, we can just lethal in 2 hits. I like the black potion. Draw. I'll be honest with you here, with the Apotheosis, we don't really need to add too many cards, because it just makes our deck better. And if we have draw cards, then we can find the Apotheosis quicker, or once we've Apotheosised, have a better selection in hand, every hand, of defends or strikes. In fact, keeping the deck size down and upping our draw means we get to throw out Neutralize more frequently. So I actually think I'm going to take the Prepared here. And if you guys don't mind, I'll take a quick second to talk about Prepared for those newer to the game. The reason why Prepared is usually considered a bad card is because imagine you have a 5-card hand and this is what you drew. So you drew this instead of what you otherwise would have drawn. So now when you play this, you draw the 1 card, bam, you're right where you started, except for now you also have to discard a card. So now you've got 4 out of 5. Once upgraded, this says draw 2, discard 2. And now you're dealing with 5 cards out of 6, and when on 3 energy you get just better choices, better reach overall. So we'd want to upgrade this, but Apotheosis will also upgrade this. So I think first Campfire we need to spend on Apotheosis, but the second one we can spend on the Prepared. Alright, so we get more gold along the way. I'm normally happy to take the damage, but once you hit Ascension 5, you really got to think about it. The deficit here is less than 5, so I'd kind of like to take this, just because better players seem to agree that this is the better option. My only concern here is that we already sacrificed max HP for the Apotheosis, but I'm going to defer to greater wisdom. Alright, so we get the Apotheosis down so we can actually play it more readily. Of course it's Gremlin Knob. We've picked up a couple extra skills. Hey, but look at this. We get the Apotheosis on the opening hand. We do have 2 cards we could throw away, so let's do that. And now we have attacks to play with all of our energy. So, very good. Black Potion was a pretty good pickup. Alright, draw forward. And then we'll go ahead and drink this since we get full value out of it. Between Gremlin Knob and Lagavulin, there's a lot of opportunities to use the Black Potion to full effect. So I would not have played it there if we weren't actually going to get full value. Alright, so we'll just strike what we can, and then play a little block here. We anger him, but he's probably dead next turn, so just block what we can. In fact, it might have made more sense to block with 2 cards rather than just the 1. War Paint. We actually have Acrobatics and Prepared, so cross your fingers. Nope, 2 defends. Alright. Kinda sucky, but at least that means we have more survivability on the way to Apotheosis. Fairy in a Bottle is also very good. We've been getting really good with the potions. Normally I would take Dagger Spray for Sentry's Fight. Even Sucker Punch is okay. But we have enough card draw already that, we're, like I mentioned, throwing the Neutralize out more frequently. I don't know how much the weak is useful, but I do think the 0 cost attack is quite good here. So I'm going to take that. Alright, now we can upgrade the Prepared so that before Apotheosis it's not a bad card. Snecko Skull. We don't have any poison yet. I don't know how much we would pick up with an Apotheosis heavy draw deck. I'll favor the Neutralize over the Acrobatics here, just because if we are going to be throwing it out more often, we've already had a couple fights where we couldn't afford to play Apotheosis right away, so keeping that weakness going as long as possible is really good. Especially like here, where the turn we play it might not be the turn. Let's go hunting for Apotheosis. Didn't find it. Not over yet. Oh, we only have to discard one. Okay, we could do this to find it. Alright. So, it never occurred to me before, don't upgrade Quick Slash before you fight Lagavulin, because it's a way of letting you hunt one more card without waking him up. Alright. So it sucks that this comes along when we reshuffled the deck, but we'll do that. Now the question is, let's see, so we have 5 attacks, and that's good because this costs an energy, so we have 2-3 attacks per turn at our current trajectory. So we're really not going to get a better turn than this anyways. So let's just open it up, get things started. Because of the Apotheosis, his debuffs aren't going to be as big of a problem. Yikes, this is bad. I think, since we have 3 attacks here, I'm not going to play the prepared. Whoops. Okay. Because that was the biggest problem when I was looking at the deck before, is it didn't look like we were going to have enough things to do with our energy each turn. Where's the Neutralize? Damn. Alright, so I'm going to block what we can here. Neutralize betrayed us. We're not going to have all of the things we need. Should have, if I had realized the deck was getting reshuffled, I would have played Slice before the... Alright, but the Slice is turning out to be a very good pick. Because of all the draw we got, I have to pay more. I have to pay better attention to when the deck's getting reshuffled. Neutralize is here. If we can pick it up, well, it won't matter, right? Yeah, it would, because then we could spend energy on blocking. In fact, I probably should have spent 2 energy on blocking instead of that other strike. Alright, so now we get put in the bottom range for Hexaghost, which is great. Makes that more manageable. Alright. So that was a little awkward, a little scary. We do have the Fairy in a bottle, but let's try not to use it. Pen Nib plays very good with the Slice. Poisoned Stab or Second Prepared. I think that fight said we could use 1 more attack per deck cycle. So let's grab the... Plays well with the Snecko Skull. Okay. Apotheosis. Let's hunt for Neutralize since this costs 0. Didn't get it. But we can get the poison down and block for almost everything here. And that's a good start. Now we can just commit to full block at all times. It's going to be a record finish. Thankfully it's Hexaghost, the one boss that's really good for limping across the finish line. If we play this, the best we could hope for over the Defend Plus we already have is Survivor. Didn't get it yet, but we still might. Nope. Okay. So do we have Lethal? Yes. Okay. Better. Regen Potion. Okay. Tactician. We have 3 cards that discard. We're flying through our deck. That would allow us to play more. It's the same principle we took the Slice on. I'd really like another Prepared, but this... I mean, one of the problems with taking Acrobatics early is that it costs an energy at a time when, you know, your energy is very inefficient. You need to be using it for blocking and damaging. This makes Acrobatics free sometimes. Very good. Hey, surprise store. Alright. This would be good, this would be good, these would be okay. But I think this is an absolute must-take, even if it does take all of our... we've been having a survivability problem. We have the Slice. So, yeah, we gotta take that fan. I don't know why I was thinking Hexaghost was the last fight we had, so this is pretty bad actually. Obviously this is free. Helps us dig for Apotheosis. Did not find it. Yet. We have one last chance here. Still did not find it. Okay. That is a damn shame, because you know what? It is a skill. So we're going to have to drink this, I think. We've done good damage here. The problem with drinking that is hopefully the fight's not going to last that long. Alright, so let's do that. We'll use the nib on this, and then we'll block what we can. Try and stay alive here. Okay, so we are at a net gain thus far. This gives us the opportunity to heal more, which is great, especially since we have certain lethal. And we're still in the lowest bracket, so that actually didn't go so bad, thanks to our phenomenal potion draws this act. Tungsten Rod. That's awesome, because turn 2, Hexaghost, we're facing 1 times 6, and now we don't have to do a thing about it. I think I value the smaller deck here. I'm trying to be more firm with myself when it comes to powers. Silent is a class that you can kind of add just about every power you're offered and make it work, but it's a little awkward executing. And right now, we can't really afford awkward. We have picked up some survivability tools, so I think next deck will probably go better. And I'm not so sure about the zero-cost block now that we have Tactician to help with energy. So I'm going to skip here, because I want to see how the deck performs with that Tactician as is. Because we added the Tactician, I think this is a very important upgrade. Drawing that one more card helps ensure that we draw either Apotheosis or Tactician. Alternatively, we could have upgraded Slice, since it's zero cost and we're always going to be playing it. Okay. Well, we did get the Tactician, but we don't need the block. But, now that it's upgraded from Apotheosis, it's actually 2 energy, so look at that. Look what that enabled for us. I didn't even think about that when I took it. We're about to pen nib. Again, we do not have to pay attention. If we find weak, he'll just be attacking for 0 if we... Alright, so we don't have enough energy for everything. Discard. Okay. Let's get the quick draw. Alright, so weakness, so now he's not even attacking anything. Nib hits hardest with the quick slash. Whoops. Tactician came back in hand when we couldn't discard it. Oopsie. That whole survivor and then getting extra energy was really nice though. Okay. So basically survivor's the problem here. We have everything we need as far as utilizing our energy, and this gives us 4 blocks, so we're good. This deck's pretty smooth. I'm liking the feel of it. Hey! Wow, I spoke way too soon. Alright, that's fine. This is full block here. Again, Tactician gets wasted. It impressed so much on turn 1, and now it's just flopping repeatedly. But as long as we don't take damage, I don't have a problem with that. We have 3 energies worth of stuff here. Let's see what we draw. Okay, we'll play this for the discarding of the burn. How many burns do we have in our deck right now? Just the 1 so far? Alright, so we can afford to get rid of it with this. Like that. And then bang bang gives us some block. Pen nib's ready to go. Not too shabby. Haven't taken a single damage. Now there's 2 burns, so we'll have to be careful with that. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Bit of a wasteful turn there, but he's just kind of sitting there anyway. 16 and burn. So let's do this first. Get rid of the burn. I guess we don't have to be in a rush. I was thinking about doing Poison Stab and Survivor instead of Defends. But we do not need to be in a rush. Would have been nice if we could have found Neutralize that turn. There it is. That is lethal, but we're going to take the burn at the end of the turn, so we do need at least to play one to absorb that. Alright. Took no damage. Very nice. You know, we already know we don't have pseudo infinite, which I would define as the ability to play any card in the deck every single turn. We don't have that yet, as seen by the Tactician screw up, the not having Neutralize out every turn. But if we can achieve something like that, being able to play this every single turn would be amazing. Upgraded at cost 0, and it doesn't exhaust, so Apotheosis will make sure this costs 0 most of the time. So we can just play it. We do have a fair amount of draw, so we can find it. Malaise would be better for later. Burst. I mean, Burst with Acrobatics is okay. It does nothing here. It's kind of dumb here, although it does help filter in the Tactician. Otherwise, it would just be Burst Plus. We could do 2 blocks, so I could kind of see Burst, but I think Phantasmal Killer is going to be, like, it's permanent Wrath, basically, or semi-permanent. Alright, so this is Snecko Eye for those who are not familiar with the Googly Eyes. And I was just taught that when it comes to Snecko Eye consideration, you don't want to be looking at the casting cost of your cards, because it takes that away. You want to be looking at the value of your cards. For example, is this card so valuable that you would pay 2 for it? Yeah, sometimes, right? Is this card so valuable that you'd pay 3 for it? Absolutely not. So our overall value is not great. And then, of course, if you do look at our casting cost, everything's 1s and 0s. So definitely not Snecko Eye. We're operating on the premise of keeping the deck as lean as possible, so Curse is absolutely no good. This is somewhat bittersweet with Apotheosis, because turn 1 we're going to have 6 cards instead of 7, so we're actually lowering our chances of a turn 1 Apotheosis. Turn 2 we're up to 12 cards, same as with this. Although it is 6 and 6, which if we have 3 and 3 energy, you know, that's more evenly distributed. Then on turn 3 we increase our chances. It's a tough call with cards like these. I think it might be better to have the extra card in the 1, but in the long run, we've already seen, like, every single fight we've had has lasted to turn 3 and beyond, so not a great relic, but it certainly does have its advantages. Anyways, that's going to do it for Act 1. Thank you guys for joining me. I look forward to your comments down below. Please leave some. And I will see you guys in the next act. Take care.